Hi, this is Tim Dunham. I'm with Dave Ray and Associates, a division of George Instrument Company, and we are the Michigan reps for MSA Permanent Instruments. This includes the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I've had a lot of people ask about calibration procedure for the new X5000 MSA unit, which many of the newer equipment is based off of. So in this case, we have a demo of the X5000. The first thing you'll need is a calibration kit. When you order a calibration kit, you'll get a plastic carrying case like you see over here, and your span gas or zero gas cylinder, your regulator, and the tubing. You can just order your zero gas in a cylinder only and put it here and use the same regulator and tubing. However, I suggest you don't, and you'll see why when we get into the calibration. Alright, so with that, we'll cover the display real quick. This is how the X5000 units will look when you approach it at your facility. The main screen is dark. The green LEDs tell you everything is good and working, and the little heart that is throbbing like a heartbeat, it might be hard to tell in the video, but this is flashing on and off like a heartbeat. That is a watchdog device that tells you everything is to specification and working properly. Okay? If anything changes along the way, if it goes into an alarm, these LEDs will turn red, the display will come on. If it goes into fault, these LEDs will turn yellow and also light up the display. Even if it doesn't go in alarm or fault, if the gas level changes, it will light up the display. So with that, I will light up the display by simply pressing this. Wakes it up. As you can see, it says 0% LEL combustible. Alright, and with that, if you go up and hit the left button, you get the first one is status, second one is calibration. You hit the right button and it goes into calibrate. Hit it again and it says calibrate sensor number 1. Now this device, this transmitter can have two sensors on it. So if you're going to calibrate the second sensor, you simply press the left hand button to scroll down to sensor number 2. In this case, again, we only have one sensor. So it says sensor number 1 with a little arrow next to it. So I will press the right button, which gets us into the calibration mode. And it is looking for the gas. So I will take the zero gas and connect. You always start with the zero gas, and as you'll see, it's starting to count down. Within the calibration kit, I'll take this time. I do not want to edit this time out because I want you to see how long this procedure takes. This little green cap, which you will find in the calibration kit, is used for the sensor in a high ventilation or high wind area. If your unit is outside or in a room that is high ventilation, then you want to put this little cap on, and then your calibration tubing goes here, and what this does is it blocks the wind from blowing the gas out of the sensor while you're doing your calibrations. Do not leave this device on because it will block what you're there for, and that's the safety and to detect other gases. This little hole is not ample enough to do that, so make sure you take this off if you need it. Also in the kit, there is one for your infrared sensor. Alright, I'll stop there. It says apply span gas, so I will disconnect zero gas. I will slide over our span gas and I will turn that on at the regulator. This is the time that having the separate regulator and separate tubing would be very handy, because otherwise this is the time you will have to unscrew the regulator from the cylinder and hook it up to the zero gas cylinder in order to put it on here. Now I'll finish real quick here. Again, this is for the infrared sensor for LELs. And again, your LEL sensor should be mounted horizontally, so it would go on this way. And there is the hole for the calibration tubing and the little knob that comes out. And again, this blocks the wind from blowing out of the sensor. So with that, we will wait for this to settle out. One thing people do is, like with an LEL sensor, should be on a remote junction box, which is sold separately, and mounted high if it's methane, for instance, because it's lighter than air. And in a case like that, this procedure may take a little bit longer, not dramatically, but you have to fill the tubing to get up to your sensor. It also, of course, takes a little bit more of your span gas that way, but it makes it better than getting a ladder out and climbing up to your sensor. So as we wait for this to count down, once it gets there, you will see, I hope anyway, that calibration passed. It will give you a display that tells you what it found it at and what it left it at. And in this case, it would be 50% is what it should leave it at when it's calibrated. Remove gas, it says. Okay, so we remove the span gas. So we shut our gas off at the cylinder and we remove the tubing. And now it is going through internally and doing its calibrations. If we keep watching, we will see it come on and give us all the information that it found. Again, I don't want to edit out this time because I want you to see the length of time it does take. Okay, as found 50%, as left 50%. So it really didn't need calibration in this case. Okay, and it says calibration passed. Okay, so now we're on the main display. We just go down to home, hit that, and we're back. Now there's a little residual cal gas still in there, span gas, which is why you see 1. Now it's down to 0. And again, the display will go dark in about 3 or 4 minutes probably. Everything else, your LEDs are on and a little heartbeat is going. This device also has Bluetooth. You can, if you download the free program from MSA with a phone, and that covers both the iPhone and the other brand, can't remember right off the top of my head. And you can do these calibrations doing it that way rather than pressing these buttons. That's available to do as well. You can also set it up with all your set points using the phone instead of the display here. So with that, I think we're all set. Again, this display will go dark, but there's no sense of waiting 3-4 minutes for that. If you are in Michigan and need help with any MSA permanent instrument issues or have any questions, please call us at area code 248-280-0000. If you are out of Michigan, please look up on the web for your local MSA manufacturer's rep and contact the local office. Thank you very much for watching.